I never thought I'd spend my Sunday morning standing in my own driveway, coffee still warm in my hand, being treated like a criminal on my own property. But life has a hell of a sense of humor. You know what I mean? I mean, when you're the police chief in a sleepy suburban neighborhood, you expect your biggest problem to be a cat stuck in a tree or maybe a barbecue that gets a little too rowdy. Not some neighbor Karen deciding her teenage son has the right to drive your truck, and certainly not a crowd of neighbors peeking through blinds, hungry for drama before brunch. But that's exactly what happened. And honestly, I still shake my head thinking about it. It started off so simple, almost boring. The sky was clear, the morning sun just making the red on my 2020 F-150 gleam like a trophy, and for once, the air felt easy, no shift stress, no radio calls, just the sound of my own thoughts and the quiet hum of suburbia. My truck, that's my pride, by the way, kept it so clean you could eat off the hood if you really wanted to. I had plans, paperwork at the station, a grocery run, maybe even a lazy nap if the universe was feeling generous. But if you've ever lived in a neighborhood with an HOA and a Karen, you know peace is always on borrowed time. So there I was, soaking it all in, when I hear this click, click, click coming up the sidewalk. I didn't even have to look up. Only one person in the subdivision wears heels like she's auditioning for a reality show at 8 in the morning. Karen. She's got that walk, that swing in her step, and a look on her face like she's about to hand out parking tickets for fun. Designer bag, sunglasses perched just so, and her teenage son trailing behind, face buried in his phone, probably already bored out of his mind. She barely glances at me before zeroing in on my truck. "Can he drive it?" she says, like she's asking if he can borrow a cup of sugar, but her tone makes it clear she's not really asking. There's this little smirk on her lips, that kind of smile you see right before a storm. For a half second I thought I misheard, because who does that? I mean, I know her reputation, loves to stir the pot. Never met a rule she couldn't bend, quick to escalate anything into a battle. But this was new even for her. So I say no, polite, but there's no room for argument. Sorry, he can't. It's my truck, my personal vehicle. Not comfortable with anyone else driving it. I figured that'd be it. I figured wrong. Her eyes go sharp, and in a split second, she's waving her phone around like she's about to livestream a takedown. "I'm calling the cops," she declares, as if I'd just denied her son his God-given right to drive anything on wheels. And here's where it gets fun. I am the cops. Or, more accurately, the person who answers those calls, the chief. The one who, 9 times out of 10, diffuses the exact sort of drama she's trying to whip up. But in that moment, with her glaring and neighbors poking their heads out, and her son starting to grin like he's just discovered the cheat code to life, I realize I'm smack in the middle of the kind of ridiculous situation I usually just hear about from my officers. Before I can even catch my breath or sip my coffee, here come the sirens. 2 patrol cars, lights flashing, rolling up the street like we've got a hostage situation. And Karen? She lights up like Times Square on New Year's, points at me, and shouts for the whole block to hear. "He won't let my son drive his truck. You have to do something." Her son's chest puffs up, and I see a few neighbors actually pulling out their phones to record. Can't blame them, honestly. Free entertainment. The officers get out, both a little cautious, obviously not expecting to find their own boss at the center of a domestic spat. I can see it all over their faces, that look of, "Oh, hell, this one's going in the group chat later." I wave, try to play it cool. "Gentlemen, we're all good here," I say, injecting as much calm as I can muster. But Karen, predictably, doubles down, starts arguing that being the chief doesn't mean I can just deny her son, that it's not fair, that I'm setting a bad example. You name it, she said it. Her kid edges toward my truck, thinking maybe if he just acts like it's his, nobody'll stop him. I step in front, calm but direct. "Nope, not happening, bud." He stops, looking shocked, like he's never actually heard the word no before. Karen's voice gets louder, more desperate. She rattles off every single time she thinks I've wronged her, every rule she claims I've bent, every reason why her son should get his way. The crowd grows. Doors are open, folks are watching from porches, and you better believe there's at least one Facebook Live running. The air is tight with anticipation and, honestly, a little bit of popcorn energy. Then comes the moment that always sticks with me. Karen physically moves toward the truck, hand out like she's about to just grab the keys. I step between her and the driver's door, plant my hand on the hood. It's not happening, I say, quietly but with that don't mess with me edge. The officers look at me, look at her, and you can practically hear the unspoken, should we intervene or just grab some popcorn? Karen's face twists, goes red, then pale, then red again. She starts threatening to file complaints with the HOA, with the city, with anyone who'll listen. And then, plot twist, Mr. Gutierrez, one of my quieter neighbors, strolls over. Never has a bad word to say, keeps to himself, but out of nowhere he calls out, "Hey Karen, you want to call the mayor too while you're at it?" The crowd snickers. For a moment, it shifts. Suddenly she's not just arguing with me. She's performing for a neighborhood that isn't buying the show. Her son's confidence deflates. The officers relax a little. I just hold my ground, and for a second, I think maybe this is the end of it. But Karen, she's relentless. Storms off to her car, starts calling what sounds like every number in her phone. HOA board, legal aid, maybe even her sister across town for backup. Her son slinks behind her, mumbling something about how unfair life is. The officers take my statement, keep it professional, but shoot me that, "Good luck with this circus" look. Within an hour, my phone's lighting up with texts and emails. Karen's posting on social media, calling me a tyrant, accusing me of abusing my power. The HOA starts sniffing around for a reason to open a case. I sit down, draft a statement, calm, factual, tight as a drum. My truck is private property. No laws were broken. All parties were treated with respect. I send it to the HOA, the officers file it away for good measure. Because in my line of work, the paper trail always matters more than the outrage of the week. By afternoon, the adrenaline fades, the neighborhood settles, and Karen retreats into her house to nurse her grudge. Her son, well, let's just say he's not so quick to wander my way again. A few neighbors swing by, low-key offering support, telling me I did the right thing, that boundaries matter. And yeah, they do. They really do. Thing is, I've been in all kinds of standoffs, but nothing quite like a power struggle on your own front lawn, where everyone's got an opinion and nobody's really in charge. There's a strange satisfaction in standing your ground, not yelling, not escalating, just holding the line with a steady hand, showing everyone, including yourself, what real authority looks like. Calm, patient, unmoved by the circus. Karen? She'll be back, I'm sure. There's always another hill to die on, another rule to twist, another truck to covet. But I'm ready. My F-150's still parked where it belongs, sun glinting off the hood, not a scratch on it. And me, I've got another story for the books, one the neighbors will talk about for weeks, maybe longer. It's funny, all that drama, and the world just keeps spinning. So let me ask you, if it had been your driveway, your truck, your Sunday morning, would you have handed over the keys or stood your ground? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you think boundaries are worth protecting, and subscribe if you want more real-life stories that'll have you shaking your head or maybe laughing out loud. Because trust me, in suburbia, the drama never really ends.